How's everybody doing? I'm your host Hassan of the Touch Your Soul podcast. Thank you guys for coming back for the third episode. Last episode, I spent it talking a lot about Nike bringing back 90s sneakers, a little bit about Supreme and things here and there. But I wanted to keep it with the theme of the last episode, and today we're going to be talking about the evolution of sneaker culture, and I felt like there was nobody better to bring, nobody more knowledgeable, nobody with as much experience that I could find than my guy Kev. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
I appreciate you coming today.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
So if you want to just give a little lore, introduce yourself.
My name is Kev, Triple OG. I started collecting sneakers when I was like 13. I'm 36 now. Just watched the cultures change from where it was back then to where it is now. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, with that being said, you said you started collecting when you were 13. What year was that? My bad. I don't mean to age you or nothing.
2000, 2003.
2003.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So what was that first pair in 2003?
Honestly, my first real pair of sneakers was like a pair of Air Force Ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the premium Air Force Ones. They had like a little plaque with them. It was like a brown wood grain Air Force One. That was my favorite Air Force One. I wore that for like a year straight because that was all I had.
Is that what started your passion, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. That and like growing up as the youngest out of 7, not really having any money to get your own sneakers and wearing your siblings' sneakers, it was just something that I didn't want to keep doing. So kind of just got out there, started getting my own.
Okay, and do you remember where you got that pair at?
Yes. Cowan Sporting Goods, right behind my middle school.
Okay.
Yes.
Where was that?
Hackensack.
Hackensack.
Yep.
Your first pair was some Forces. There was wood grain. You said right. Do you remember the name of that pair or?
No,
Nah,
I don't. I think it might have been wood grain.
It might have been,
Probably,
okay.
yeah, because it was like literally like the wood grain in the car, like a car interior.
So you would say like overall, when it comes to sneakers, you're into every type of sneaker, right? So like
Everything.
Jordans, Nike, obviously regular Nikes, things like that. But what would you say like kind of shifted your attention to Jordans at that time?
2003, 2004. Jordan 1s, when they started making them in the mid cut. I don't know why I loved them so much, but that like quickly became my favorite shoe, like of all time. And I just never looked back after that.
So as of today, how many pairs do you have in your collection right now?
Like my personal collection.
Your personal collection, yeah.
I can't count. Probably like over 800 maybe. Probably like I would have to like literally check all of my storage units. Like I would have to literally count, but probably
Okay.
around there.
So for me, right, I would think like a milestone would be 100 pairs, right?
For
Like,
sure.
100 pairs would be a milestone. So do you remember when you hit your first 100?
Yeah. It was kind of a cheat though, because I bought a collection
Okay.
for like $4,000 or something. At the time, like this was like 2006. We just used to like meet up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
A
you
bunch
said
of friends.
2006.
Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's
We
crazy.
just used to like a bunch of friends. We would just meet up and just meet like a bunch of other people from other towns. And this kid like had this crazy collection that he was selling, but it was 50 pairs of them. And I was like, "How much do you want for all of them? I'm not gonna pay box price, so just give me a price." He was like, "All right, 4,000." I think it was like $4,200 or something like that. Something weird. I bought it, and I had already had like 30, 40 pairs. And then after that, I went to the mall and just bought like a bunch of other shoes like that year. So 2006, I hit 100 for sure.
Okay, that's what's up. So 2006, you hit 100. 2006, I was 3. I don't remember what pairs I had. I think, because for me, obviously, like growing up, my dad, he's been into sneakers. Like, so I like sneakers because of him. Even my mom, I remember my first pair of Jordan 4s that like I really remember was the Jordan 4 Cavs. I want to say it was like 2012. It had to be, right? Those came out around then. I stole them from my mom, and I would wear them every day because they matched my football jersey. That was my favorite thing. To do,
Stole
match the
them?
shoes with the jersey. Yeah, not stole. She like let me borrow them, but I never gave them back.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing with the Black History Month KD7. She was wearing a size 7 grade school, so I had to take advantage of it. But I didn't start collecting for real until I want to say like I was 18. I want to say no, I wasn't even 18. I was 17 because it was my senior year. So COVID had hit, and that's when sneakers was everything was online. So I wasn't hitting like that, and I also like I don't have the money that I have now, so I wasn't spending as much. But I think for me, like a big thing that I kind of wish that I was able to experience was being like, outside waiting on the shoes, things like that, like camping out for days. It might sound a little ignorant, but like seeing people fight for shoes, things like that. Some things. So I'm sure you had the opportunity to see some of those things happen.
Yeah. So back then, like there was. I'm saying back then, like I'm 50. Back then, when people were like waiting online for days and camping out, it was more of like a community. So everyone was pretty much cool with each other. Like if you were waiting online for one shoe, the next release you would see the same exact people. You know what I'm saying? At every store, wherever you went. So it wasn't like a lot of beef back then where people were fighting and shooting and all of that. Like everyone knew we were getting a pair because they produced way more pairs back then for some reason than they do now. And yeah, it was just cool, man. Just seeing all of those people for every release, it was pretty dope.
What was the most like hectic drop you got to be a part of?
Oof. Those damn foam posits.
What, the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was crazy.
You remember where you got them at?
Yeah. Nike 21 Mercer in New York. That was probably the worst camp out I've ever been a part of.
How early did you get there?
They released Saturday. I got there like Thursday morning.
That's great. So
yeah.
Did you guys have to like stay in that one spot, or you guys kind of like camped it out, had someone stay alternate?
All right, so you also had like there was like a little like chat that you could like reach out to and have people wait for your sneakers, but you had to pay them. Like you had to pay them like $100 an hour, depending on like what you were doing. If they had to stay overnight, overnight was obviously more. Overnight was like $200.
It's overtime.
Yeah, basically it's overtime. It's time and a half. Yeah, so yeah, but most of the time, like if you paid anybody, it wouldn't be for that long. It probably just so you could go take a nap in the car or something like that. Like nothing too crazy. Some people did pay for the overnight premium, which was insane, but yeah, it wasn't that long of a wait.
Okay, and social media. I know social media around that time was like kind of picking up. So like maybe not around that time specifically, like the phone posits, but more so just like 2003, 2006 when you started collecting, right? So like what were people using to communicate? Because I know me, it's Instagram.
MySpace.
It was MySpace? Okay.
MySpace. MySpace, Facebook. MySpace was really the best though. MySpace, and obviously we had like AIM. AOL Instant Messenger. If you had a sidekick, you were that guy.
Okay.
You know, around that time, put your little away message.
I have no experience. When you said AIM, I didn't know what you were talking about. I have no experience with that. But when you said Facebook, I find it funny because like Facebook Marketplace, I was selling on Facebook Marketplace. I remember my freshman year of college, I had to pay that car insurance every month, $200. If I wasn't working, I was selling a pair of shoes, getting that money through Facebook Marketplace. So I find it funny, like, what, that's 17, around 17, maybe 18 years, yeah. And people were using the same thing, and I know people still use it now. I'm in a bunch of Facebook communities. I don't buy off them like actively as much, but like I know if I wanted to find an old pair, I could go into a Facebook community. Someone's gonna have something
for sure,
some real heat.
That and well, now they have like OfferUp stuff like that where you could go and you could buy a collection off of OfferUp now. They give it to you at a cheap price. Obviously, you got to just make sure that it's authentic. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many places where you could just find old collectibles. You know what I'm saying? Just going to the internet is a big tool that's used for things just like that. So,
what was like you mentioned authentication? What's the big difference now with authentication compared to like back then? Because obviously now we got like check. Things like that, StockX.
So you didn't really need it back then because you knew when something was fake. Like now everything is like one-to-one. So you can't tell the real from the fake nowadays. But back then they had like SpongeBob on the fake sneakers or like Patrick. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were just putting them out so that.
Isn't it like, when they had the Jordan with the butt cheeks.
Yes,
Jordan had the butt
literally,
cheeks.
yes.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that it was fake. Like now, it's hard to do that because they're made in the same factories essentially, and you know what I'm saying, the people that are making these shoes have like a really good eye for what the original looks like or what the real version looks like, so they just make it exactly like that.
Okay, and you talking about reps too now while we're at it. Like, have you seen how like nowadays like there's like people who are like confident in wearing reps. Like,
Yes.
there's people whose whole sneaker pages are literally just them talking about, oh, here's where I get my reps, this or why reps are better. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel no type of way about it. If you gonna listen, man, a lot of people don't have the money to pay all of this money for the shoes that we buy and the shoes that we love. So they buy what they can afford. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as they feel confident putting it on and walking outside with that. It's not like back in the days where like we're gonna pick on you like, your shoes are fake.
That's
like,
true.
you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's not something that I would do, but it's nobody's the same.
I feel like, I don't know. I think for me, it's like I don't necessarily have a problem with people doing it, but I do kind of feel like it takes the novelty out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could go buy a rep 1975 Camaro or something like that, you don't think car buyers would do that? Like it takes away from it. You know, buying like fake jerseys or fake cards. It's like you can do it, but I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know if I would consider them as somebody that's really a part of the sneaker community, I guess.
But it takes away from it from who? Like does it take away from it for your experience? Because you're not buying the rep. You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Not necessarily my experience, right? Because that, like you said before, everybody's different. I think more so for me, it's just like I know what a lot of people, the culture, and I know what a lot of people. Not everybody in the sneaker culture is somebody who has a bunch of money to go do things the same as them, right? So for me, it's more so from the perspective of like, okay, if you have $100 to spend on some shoes, because the reps are cheap, but they're not that cheap. Like, there's people paying $100-something for reps, right?
Mm-hmm.
With $100-something, I'm sure you could find something in that price range that fits what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you obviously do what you do. It's not something that I'm gonna do, and it's not something that I'm not gonna pick on you. I'm not gonna ostracize you, but I do think it's like you cheat in the system in a sense. And there's, like I said, there's people in the community who can't get those things, so they buy what's in their bracket. You know what I'm saying? I feel like bracket is like I don't know if that term like translates well. I don't want to limit people, but like they buy what they can get, and when they get the opportunity to get their hands on that crazy pair means so much more to them. So I don't know. I think if they took the opportunity to, go try and get the real pair, they'll probably feel the excitement that I feel and a lot of other people feel, or just the happiness of accomplishing something. So
yeah,
I don't know. Everybody's different, and I respect it, but it's not something I would do, and I think that it takes away a little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
No, I agree with you. Like it's definitely not something I do either. But at the same time, it's just like, people got bills to pay. And again, it's not like the reps are hundreds of dollars less than the real, unless it's something that's released and then they're resold for something crazy. That's why I see a lot of reps are coming in too now. It's like if you can't afford the one that already sold out and now it's reselling for $300-$400 more than box price, then it's like, all right, let me just go get this one. Again, I'm not going to do that because I'm blessed to be able to get the real when it comes out for box price. But, some people just, they don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it.
Would you consider that person a sneakerhead? I guess that's more so what the focus of the question was. Would you consider that person a sneakerhead?
It all no. No.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, I can't say no, but I can't say yes. Because at the end of the day, it's still a sneaker.
But
so what makes a sneakerhead? Is it a lot of sneakers? Is it the sneakers that you have? Like what makes a person a
I feel like
sneakerhead?
there's like different I feel like there's different types of sneakerheads though. Like I feel like, when someone's in that phase of building their collection, some may be just like a knowledgeable person when it comes to sneakers, and that may make them a sneakerhead. They know like for me, I knew my history, but I didn't start really buying until I hit my final size, or I thought I did, because I still grew, like my feet grew like an extra half size or whatever. But like around that time, I may not have had a lot in my collection, but I would have still considered myself a sneakerhead because if I wanted to have a conversation about sneakers, if I wanted to talk about the history, I understood. But then also it's a little bit different for me because I grew up with it. So I think that makes it a little bit different. But I think there's a bunch of different types of sneakerheads. Even like customers come into our store, right? And they buy shoes that I wouldn't buy, but they buy shoes every week. That's still a sneakerhead.
Yeah, and they tell us they love telling us I'm a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
And then the shoes they buy, we look at them like, oh, all right, it's a different type of sneaker.
But I wouldn't take that away from them, right? I think that's more authentic to like the sneaker community or being a sneakerhead than a person who buys reps, I guess, because it's like I can't say just because you don't buy the shoes that I like or you don't buy the Jordans or you don't buy this or you don't buy that you're not a sneakerhead. So I guess that's how I see it.
I understand that. But also, like I said, it's like, how would you know that these sneakers are reps until you go online and you see that this person is willingly admitting to buying them? Like, all right, what if this person has way more knowledge than anyone that buys every single real pair of sneakers that comes out? How can you then say that they're not a sneakerhead? By what metric do they not fit in with the sneakerheads?
They a sneakerhead then, but like a half-assed one. They could be a sneakerhead, but they a half-assed one.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
I could take that.
Yeah, they a sneakerhead, but a half-assed one. I don't know. I'm not gonna, like I said, they could sit at the table. I'm not indulging it though.
Yeah, I get it.
What's like the biggest difference in sneaker culture from when you started to now?
So, all right, like a lot of sneakers now, like you see foam posits just sit. The 13s that just released sat. A bunch of stuff that's sitting, and it's because a lot of these guys out here aren't sneakerheads, they're resellers. So there's a big difference between resellers and sneakerheads. Before, the culture was really like set for the sneakerheads. Now it's just, all right, if this pair is not gonna make me $300 on top of box price or even $100 on top of box price, I don't want it. But you see a lot of the older generation coming in and saying, "Oh, I love this shoe. This is more of a nostalgia shoe than anything." You know what I'm saying? Like that, I think is the biggest difference. Like there's no real love in the culture anymore. It's just all hype.
I talked about that on the last episode. That's why I felt like this episode was important because I'm speaking from my experience, but I haven't been there to see the past. I'm only really speaking from what I know and then trying to compare it to like my experiences when I was younger and my dad's experience and things like that with sneakers. But yeah, like they're like you said, they don't love it. And it's okay. Not everybody has to necessarily love everything like we love it, but it takes the fun out of it, I think. Yeah. Like when all the shoes that the community wants, but people are buying it to then scalp it essentially and sell it $200-$300 higher than what anybody is expecting to pay. It takes away the fun. Yeah. And I think that may be necessary. I think that may be what's kind of like killing sneaker. You feel like sneaker culture is dying a little bit? Like,
yeah, for
you think that's what's killing it, right?
100%.
That's how 100%. I see it. I think it's killing it a little bit, like.
A lot of these sneakers aren't even touching toes. Like me, as soon as I get a sneaker, I'm putting it on my foot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to just let it sit. There are times where I bought sneakers that I genuinely forgot I had. Like these two right here, I forgot I had those. I said 2008 infrared and the 2010 Carmine.
You think if you put them on, you could?
No, there's no way. That's not. I don't even wear that size anymore.
Try them on. If it explodes, we'll go viral.
Yeah. Let's do it. Then you gotta buy me 2 more pairs. Deal?
I'll get like a reimagined pair or something.
Nah, come on,
I'll get you a when's the last time the Carmines came out? Like 2019, 2020?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
2019 pair, 2020.
I'll take that. I'm not mad at that at all.
But I have another question with that. What do you feel like draws people into the culture now compared to when you started?
Social media.
Social media.
Social media. Before it was word of mouth. Like we didn't really have social media like that. We just knew every Saturday something was coming out. Maybe every Thursday. They used to have releases every Thursday, then Friday, then they moved it to Saturday. So word of mouth. We already knew like you'll be here at this day, this time, something's coming out. We didn't know what it was. We didn't care. We was just there.
All right, and to close out the episode, I do want to ask just a quick question. Do you what are your 3 best tips for growing a collection? Like, where would you tell someone to start? Things like that.
Connections. That would be like my first. Have the connections. Know somebody that knows somebody. Money. You definitely have to have money.
Get a job.
Yeah.
Unemployed sneakerhead, it don't really make sense. I mean,
yeah.
If they know how to get some money,
how to do it. And then the third would just be stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Stay consistent, no matter what it is, man. If you want to grow your collection, stay consistent. Even if you're buying a bunch of sneakers at clearance, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing it. If that's what you want to do, keep doing it. If it's something you love, it's something you like, go crazy.
You think it's a quantity or a quality game?
Quality. Right now, or?
Well, right now I feel like it's a lot more quantity over
For
quality for a lot of people.
Sure.
But overall, you would say it's quality over quantity.
Because even now, the shoes that are coming out now, the quality is so much worse than what it was back when you first started collecting. And then the markup on prices is ridiculous. So you're buying this cheap shoe for 2 times more than you paid for it 10, 15 years ago, and it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, and the last question I'm going to ask is, what do you think is going to be the sneaker of the year for 2026?
Brick after bricks.
Brick after
Nigel's.
bricks?
Brick after bricks.
You said they weren't going to drop.
I thought they weren't. I thought they was going to push them back.
I was mad, but I'm not going to lie. I don't like that they changed the color on the... What
the sail?
Nah. The eyelet?
Oh, what's wrong with that?
I just thought they were going to look more like the Fire Reds.
No, we don't want them to look like the Fire Reds.
I want them to look like the Fire Reds.
See,
they look like an SB pair of Fire Reds. I want them to look like
You'll see. There's going to be
But they're going to be fire. I'm going to try my best to get them.
Sneaker of the year.
But that's all for today's episode. I appreciate you guys tuning in and staying for the whole episode. I appreciate you for popping out, Kev.
Of course.
Good looks.
Appreciate you for having me.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys for, watching the podcast and all that. Hopefully I have some more content to bring you guys soon. But stay tuned. I appreciate you guys.
That's my girl.